All right, guys. So it's out of the trailer, and as you can see, man, I mean, it's still shiny, kind of new looking. It has been used about 4 or 5 times, which is nice. Here's some of the wood chippings that I've done, just kind of because these wood chippings here, because whenever and you can see how far they go. I'll walk over here, and I mean, it shoots those things pretty far. Um, that's my burn pile. And if you can see right here in the front right there, that there is some chippings from that guy. So it does a wonderful job. Like I said, Woodmax DC 1260. Man, this machine here is incredible. Let me start off with the negatives first on this thing, okay? And it's not the machine itself. Here's the negatives. The negatives on this thing are that whenever they send it to you, or not whenever they send it to you. How can I put this? So far, okay, here's the negatives. I'm trying to be, because it's not really negatives. They're just little things that in the future, hopefully Woodmax maybe sees this video, or the company Woodmax or somebody for Woodmax sees the video and says, okay, yeah, we'll improve on that, or we'll be careful with this. On the first couple uses, these bolts here, which hold the chute, the gravity chute, or the feeding part, these bolts here started coming off. They started kind of, coming away from the frame or whatnot. So, I had to tighten those back up or whatever. Nothing too negative about it. Just that's kind of a safety thing. Another thing is, again, with the bolts, this one completely came off. That goes to, I think this is a hood, is what I'm going to call it, is a hood for where the chips come out. So those are kind of, there are some of the bolts and stuff that need to be a little bit more maybe tight, maybe put some Loctite or something on it, and then that way it'll be more secure. Second thing that I would do on this is, you see this little stand here for it. Man, it would be nice if, this is cool, stable, all that. Whenever you throw wood in there, it doesn't, vibrate, doesn't move, because it's very sturdy. The only thing is, I wish they could put like a pin or something here, or maybe build something here instead of, or even with the little trailer hitch, which I do have the trailer hitch. It's right there. To pull it around the property or wherever I'm at. But I'll show you why I don't have it on there. It just makes it easier for me, but I'll show you here in a second. But what I was going with this is, if they could put something almost like that, this could go up maybe 1 or 2 inches, maybe even up to 3 inches. So whenever you get to a certain point, because this goes right over my Fuso truck, my dump truck, right? It goes kind of right over it. But what happens is, obviously with this bolt missing, I'm gonna get a new bolt for it. That's not a big deal. But with this, and it does this, it just kind of shoots right, close to it. So I have to sit there and sometimes stop the machine, get up on my truck, and then use a shovel to push the chips forward. So if they could maybe put like a little jack or something, or some kind of pin on this stand here to lift it up and down, that would be awesome. But again, that doesn't, deter me from saying, hey, get yourself one of these. They're a huge help. So those are the negatives, I guess. Oh, one more negative. And this is kind of the bigger one out of them all. The bag of tools. Now, yeah, this tool here fits on the bolts, but on these right here, like the ones that I'm putting on right now, I mean, it's so encumbersome. You can't really, there's no practical way of using this tool on this inside here. You know what I mean? The outside, yeah, you can kind of, you can use it. Whoops, I'm sorry. You can use it here, you know, obviously, but coming in here where, you know, it's obviously important. There's no room to turn this tool, you know, so maybe work on that. The other one, and then this tool here, from what I've noticed, it only works on a few of these bolts. It doesn't work on this one, and it'd be nice if we could, you know, because then it'd be quicker to take the feeder and move it, just in case something gets stuck down here at the drum, you know. So, and even with the with this tool here, with this tool here, again, yeah, you can get it on these nuts, you know, to turn them some, you know, but it's so weird to do it that you know, it just takes too much time. You're sitting here spinning, and you know, I don't know, it's kind of like one of those little deterrents that all right, man, I don't want to use this. So what I found out is it's a lot easier, obviously, if you have your own tool set to, you know, work on the machine. Whenever it came inside of a crate. I wish I would have taken the time to make the video of when me and my brother put it together, but we were just so excited that we put it together. We didn't really look at the directions or anything like that, but what happened was we had put one tire the right way, the other tire was not the right way, so it was all lopsided. But again, we found out that using these tools wasn't the practical thing to do with putting it together. My suggestion is you get your own tools and use that to do so. Now, I'm gonna try to put the camera on the stand here. So, a coin?
Yeah.
There's some in the house.
Okay.
Say hi to YouTube.
Hello.
So, but let's see. I'm trying to get this stand to operate for me, but it doesn't want to. Okay. So, those are the negatives, guys. Those are the negatives. Nothing too bad, obviously, right? Nothing too bad at all. So, okay, so you have to get your own tools. Big whoop, you know. The tires on this thing are so awesome, man. The weight of the machine is like 500 pounds, right? So with 500 pounds, you would think it'd be hard to move, right? But it's not. When you have this thing the right way, you have your handles here and everything. It's super easy. Not a lot of strength takes to actually move this thing. And I'm on rough terrain right now, and I can still just push it like absolutely nothing, you know? Boom, 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 boom. Ready to go, you know? So that's a big positive. You can move that thing like a wheelbarrow, absolutely. And that's why I didn't put the little trailer hitch on, because of the fact that I can just move this thing like absolutely nothing, man. Those tires there, they're probably like some of the best wheelbarrow tires ever, you know? Super awesome, super easy to move, super just agile, ready to go. Like I said, just nice. I love it. I love how easy it is to move it from one side of the yard to the other, or on the road, especially like if it's on pavement. It moves like a dream, right? The motor, man, this motor, 13 and a half horse Briggs & Stratton, turns right on. It gives me no trouble to start off. Like I said, so far I am super happy with this machine, you know, and I'm not trying to be, you know, I'm not trying to oversell it, I'm not trying to do whatever, but I did spend, you know, a couple grand on it, you know, and super excited. Now, as you can see, this is the feeding part of it, look how long that is. That's me extending my hand all the way down in there, and I'm still not even halfway in there. So is it, you know, am I saying, oh, you can stick your hand in there? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it would be hard for you to get yourself caught up in there, you know, trying to push something in there. Plus, where they've put the emergency stop is right here. So one little bump from this thing, and boom, it shuts off completely. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, is I'll start it up, and I'll show you how, guys, and hopefully this thing doesn't make me into a liar. You know how it is, you're telling everybody, like, oh man, it'll start right away, it's so awesome, and then all of a sudden boom, it doesn't start for you, and you're like, ugh, it made me into a liar, or it made me look bad. But so far, every time that I've used it, especially in the cold starts, it starts right up. So I'm hoping it does the same thing. So, but I'll show you guys how it seems to start up right away. All right. So, and it's super easy, super, you know, obviously it's self-explanatory. I'm picking up my coffee. I'm cold. So, super self-explanatory. On off, or ignite off. Here's your throttle to stop. Go forward, you know what I mean, obviously to full throttle. Here's your choke. No gas, gas. You know, the usual. But like I said, so far, it's a cold day, cold, somewhat evening right now. I'm gonna put it to half throttle or maybe a quarter throttle. It's on, right? Now guys, that right there is cold start. Nice and easy, ready to go. Again, I mean, all I did is put choke on it, start it, or put it on, full start. Now they make these in electric start as well. Cost a couple extra $100 and I should have paid it for it, but I was like, you know what? I can full start, why not? I'll save myself that little bit of time and do one of those. Why not? But you hear it, guys. I mean, it's running, it's nice, and right now to me it's a little quiet. You know, obviously when we full throttle it up, you can really hear. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay silent for a little bit. I'm gonna throttle it up and I'm gonna show you how quick. Now normally, what I do is, you see how it's idling right now? That's when I turn off my equipment. I just turn it off, and which I'll do that right now. Boom. That way it doesn't kill the motor. It's not like the motor's running at 100 miles an hour and all of a sudden a stop. I've never done that to my machines. I like to idle them down and then turn them off. So that's what I'll do to this machine as well, just to, you know, obviously save the motor and all that good stuff. But now I'm going to start it back up again. I'll stay quiet, and I want you guys, I want to show you how easy it is, like, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing, because if you're feeding something down the chute and you tap that, it shuts off. You know, so sometimes you're sitting there and you're putting in, like I've been putting in some limbs, and the limbs will catch, you know, on this side, as you can see, you know, and all here where the sign is, and it'll do that, or it'll hit it and the machine shuts right off. So which is a positive in my book. I mean, it's a negative because you're sitting there trying to put the brush in here, or log or whatever branch, and it catches it, bam, and it shuts it off, and you're like, oh man. So then you have to restart it again. Nothing too bad again, but let me show you. I'll put you guys down right here, right, and it's still kind of cold, so I'm still gonna go ahead and put it on choke, give it a little bit of gas, and boom, it's that easy. You hear that? I barely tapped that. I barely tapped the emergency shut off, and it went quiet. It shut off right away. So that is awesome. You know, so that way you get some of these guys that are doing that number there, trying to stick, and maybe they're trying to get something from in here, and you know, they want to get too cocky or too confident, and boom, it shuts off on them, just so they don't get hurt. So don't stick your hands in there and whatever. There's other ways, man. I mean, give the limb a little bit of a trim and it'll go in there. What I've noticed is I've done some queen palms with it. I've done some oak, you know, some of these oak trees with it. Not the big ones, but obviously what it can handle. Like I said, I've done 6-inch limbs on here, and it's chewed through them, you know. So, but you have to know how to actually work in putting in the limbs on this thing. You can't just put like a bare log. You can, but what's going to happen is that bare log, once it gets to like a foot or so of length, it starts to dance down there. It starts to dance down in the drum, and all you hear is ka-king, 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 ka-king. Just that, you know, obviously tapping on the metal with the wood. And then sometimes what happens when that happens is the wood might get cut to the length where it goes from this side to this side, and it's stuck there, right? So then you can't feed any more stuff to it, and you can't chip anymore. So what happens there is now you have to open this up, and again, you got to get your own tools, ratchet set, and I think this is, I want to say it's a 19 millimeter here, right? Is the best one for these. And what happens is you take this off, take these two off, make sure you don't lose your washers, right? This opens up, and I'll show you where the hinges are, like the, you know, like door hinges. So it opens up, and then you can reach in there, and I mean, it won't go no further than basically there from your hand, you know, into down there, and you can pull that stuff out and close it back up, and you're ready to go again, right? So that's something that you know, I have to be careful with. It seems like if you have a log and you leave some greenery, like some small brush branches in the back there, once it gets to the bottom there, it actually sucks all that stuff in, and you don't have that log dancing ping 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 all up in there. Another thing that it doesn't that I found out personally is it doesn't like dry queen palm leaves or palm tree leaves. You know, it doesn't like the dry ones because all the water's gone out of them. Now it's just basically fibrous is how I'm going to describe it. It's more like strings, you know what I mean, on the palm leaves, and they get stuck real easy, and they get stuck right here on this in the shoot right in here, and then you have to basically take this off and clean that out. And then sometimes they might even be stuck in the drum, so again, you might have to take this out and, you know, clean it. But again, it's all a learning process, right? I mean, we have to learn our machines, we have to study on them, and we have to make sure that we understand what we can and can't do with them. So far, I've learned just that, pretty much, is that I can't put logs, and you can't throw in small logs either. Like, they have to be good sized logs, like I said, with some kind of greenery into the feeder. So other than that, guys, I mean, there's really nothing negative about it. The tools, you know what, Woodmax, I don't know, there's got to be a better way of you know, there's got to be a better setup for the tools. Is that a big deterrent for not buying it? Absolutely not. Let's see, what else? The bolts. Hey, you know what? Throw some Loctite on there on the bolts, especially the ones that are on the drum and stuff like that. You know, this here is obviously where the drum for the blade is at. Easy enough to get into. You just got, again, have to have your own tools, and you can work on your drum. Not that I have. I'm just letting you know that everything on this machine is pretty simple, pretty easy. you know, the instructions come with it. Do yourself a favor, read the instructions when you're putting it together. You'll save yourself some time. Like I said, other than that, man, this thing is a beaut, guys. I've looked at a lot of the wood chippers. I've looked at a lot of the wood chippers, and this is the one that, for my budget, for what I want to do, it fit the best. I seen the other ones, and some of them were a little more expensive, and you know, obviously they would do the exact same thing that this one did, but for the price, this Woodmax, man, has made me so happy. Now, with that being said, you know, obviously you guys know about wood chipping. If you do, it's not the fastest thing in the world. I can chop a tree down, right, or chop some limbs or whatever, throw them in the back of my Fuso, because I've got about 14 or 16 feet of dump bed on my Fuso truck, and it stacks up quick. So now that's a lot faster, obviously, but you know what it is a space saver. It may not save you time, because you might have to drag stuff out and chip it, you know, limb at a time or whatever, but it's still quick enough that it will chip it up. Now, like I said, it's not the fastest thing, but it's a space saver, right? I mean, what normally I would stack in my Fuso, if you can see it like right over here, with one trip or two trips, if I have enough that I'm like, man, I got to make 2 trips, I found out, because I've already dealt with it in the small amount of time that I've had this, because I've only had it for, I want to say, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. I've already found out, man, that I can wood chip 2 loads of brush into my Fuso, and I still have room. So that makes me happy. So my investment for this wood chipper, I'm super happy, man. Really, really, really enjoying it. So Woodmax, I thank you. I really do. Truly look into the bolts of the machine, Loctite or whatever. My suggestion, you don't have to go with it. The tools down here, maybe like I said, do a little bit better job on those. But other than that, thank you for an awesome product. It's made me super happy. It's worth the money, worth the investment. And guys out there, lawn and landscaping guys, some of us that don't do, you know, obviously we're not tree companies that are doing trees like this, but sometimes we're doing small trees like that one, you know, that one there. Man, with a wood chipper like this, you save yourself a lot of space. Like I said, it might not be as quick just throwing it into your trailer and taking off, but if you have, you know, 2 or 3 trees of those to do, you can do them, chip them up, and you have all that much space instead of just doing 1 tree, maybe 1.5, and then having to run to a dump or something. You know, maybe have a buddy who has property like this, and you can go and take them there and have them burnt. Do yourself a favor, man. I mean, I want to say with a new set of blades. Oh, and that's another cool thing. So the blades down here, inside there, you can't see them now because it's already spun or whatever. Not spent, spun. But down there, you can see there's 2 blades in this thing. Those 2 blades are double-sided. So one side gets dull. You take I think it's a 15 millimeter inside there. Once you open the feeding chute, you open it up, take a 15 millimeter, take those off, and you're just basically, the blade is here, and all you're doing is turning it, boom, and now it's got another blade at the back end of it, you know, so it's a double-sided blade. That's 2 blades. So you've got, and I ordered mine with an extra set of blades. So all together with everything, shipping and everything like that, I think I spent about $2,100. Yeah, $2,100 for this thing, and it's well worth the money. I love it. I love it. So again, Woodmax, thank you. Love the product. Couple little things that need to be obviously addressed. That's on the video. But other than that, dude, super happy. So Briggs and Stratton on this thing, super powerful. I mean, you guys heard it. Starts right up, and it has enough power to, like I said, I hope they don't get mad at me, but I did try a couple 6-inch logs, and I mean, it ate them up. So super happy about it. Not the fastest thing in the world, you know, like I said, time saver. Space saver, not time saver. Time saver, yes, because you don't have to run to the dump, you know, or anywhere else for 2 trips, maybe 2 or 3 trips. But space, man, obviously having you know, say a 12-foot limb that you're gonna just lay on in your bed, you can make it into a pile smaller than my fist. You know what I mean? So space, and it does save you a little bit of time. Not so much, but yes, time it does save you as well. So that's it, guys. I wanted to get out here. It's Sunday evening. You know, me and my boy, he's over here, you know, jumping around on the trailers playing his video game. I'm out here doing a review on this Woodmax wood chipper and just enjoying it, you know. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. Hit like, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully this next week isn't that hard for you guys, but make some of that easy money.
Take it easy.
And I'll see you later.